The Beretta APX, let's check it out. Beretta produces high quality firearms, but they never do it like everybody else. And they finally come out with a striker fire polymer frame pistol, the APX. Following right behind that is the Centurion, which is a more compact version, and then they have their compact version, which is great and ideal for concealed carry. One of the things about Beretta in the past is, of course, that with their Beretta 92, even their Beretta 92 compact, they're fairly large handguns. This really gets into the more trim, slim, very unique design. But one of the big things you're going to notice right up front with the APX is the really unique slide. And while it has a very unique pattern on the side, this is definitely purposeful. So I've gotten a lot of requests to review the APX. There's a lot of Beretta fans out there. And so I got in touch with Nate at GunProDeals, and he sent this gun for the test and evaluation. The APX was designed by Beretta to be an entry into the Modular Handgun System trials, and this was to replace the Beretta M9, which the SIG P320 won the competition. But one of the great things about the trials was it introduced a lot of really cool designs into the market, very innovative. And that's one of the things about this pistol. There are a lot of cool features that you're not going to find on a lot of other handguns that you're going to find with Beretta. Now, Beretta's been in business for 500 years, making really great quality firearms. This is the full size. They have just introduced their Centurion, which is a slightly smaller, more compact version, and then the compact, which I do have one of the compacts, and we're going to be doing a review coming up right away on this one as well. But it's considerably smaller and better for concealed carry. One of the big things that a lot of people see immediately with the APX is the slide. And a lot of people love it. There's a lot of people that they don't like it. They don't like the styling. But one of the things about this slide, it is very user-friendly. I mean, it is purposeful. And we're going to take a look at that. But we're going to go ahead and remove the magazine, make sure that the gun is unloaded, and it is. Now, one of the things about the slide is that no matter where you grab it, you can rack the slide. I mean, it doesn't matter where it is. And so it's a very unique style, but yet again, it serves a really definite purpose. The magazines are 17+1 and good quality magazines. They do have a wide base plate. So when they're inserted into the grip, you have enough area in case you have a malfunction and you need to strip it, you can pull it right out. And then, of course, you have your magazine release, and it does pop the magazine out and ejects the magazine. You do get 2 magazines. Now, they do also offer 20-round magazines as well. Now, one of the cool things about the Beretta APX is that you can change out the grip frames. And if you see here, I have the FDE installed. It's very easy to do. These run about $50 on Beretta and $41.99 on the GunProDeals website. You can change it out to the FDE, OD, gray, or of course you can leave it in the black. I'm going to have a full demonstration on the following video to show you how to install this grip frame, also how to change out these grip panels, and how to change your mag release or reverse it. So it's going to really make the video long, so I decided to separate it for those who are really interested in the APX. And I'll have that video linked right here and in the description. It has a nitron finish, but it's kind of a gray finish. So it has a very unique, not quite two-tone, but yet it does. A little bit lighter on the slide, darker on the frame. And then when you put it with the other colors, it really stands out. It does have very minimal finger grooves. The texturing is excellent. I mean, it's not too aggressive. I know some of the new patterns they've come out with other firearms, it's just almost too aggressive. Here it's a good solid feel to it, and yet you have checkering on the back, and it's square, and it really feels good in your hand. And then here at the front, in between the finger grooves. From what I understand though, that Beretta is going to be offering these grips without finger grooves. I haven't seen it yet, but that's one thing that's supposed to be in the works. You do have 3-dot sights. They are steel, and you do have a shelf here for cocking, and these are dovetailed in, so you know they're going to be replacement sights available. You have your slide stop here, and then it's also on the other side. The magazine release is reversible, and it's fairly easy to do. In fact, there's a small little place here you just push in, and then it'll pop out and you can replace it. I'm not going to show it because really there's so much to show on this pistol already. There are 2 separate grip panels, and we're going to replace the grip. You do have a 1913 Picatinny accessory rail up at the front. A very nice, well done polymer frame. Wide, large trigger guard for gloved hands. And then of course you can see immediately that we have the small little trigger safety right here. That's a lever. You'll notice here at the back, when you press it up, it relieves that area, but when it's down, it's not going to fire. And this also helps with your drop safe, which there is a drop safe safety or for the striker inside the gun. The trigger is wide, so it's very purposeful, and it gives you a lot of surface right here on the trigger to be able to be very consistent. And that's just part of the design. Now, one thing I want to show you immediately is the trigger pull, because it is really good. We're going to go ahead and pull it. There's very little take up. I mean, look at that travel right there when you hit the wall, and then a good clean break. Reset right there. Beretta says 3 millimeters, and then another very consistent break. Let's take our Lyman trigger gauge from Brownells. We're going to test the trigger pull weight. £5, 9.3 ounces. 9 pounds, 8.5 ounces. So Beretta says 6 pounds, but I've been testing it and been getting about the 5.5 pound range. Now, one thing I do want to demonstrate, we're going to bring our slide back and re-engage our striker. If you'll notice right here at the top of the slide, there's a small little button. You'll see it right there. When you pull the trigger, you actually see it pops up. And that is very similar to the Beretta M9 or the Beretta 92. It's different. It has kind of an oval shaped little platform that pops up. But this is in line with the Beretta. There have been some questions about RMRs being put on here, but now they're making an RMR mount, and they've somehow gone around that. I haven't seen one, so I don't know, but that is doable, so that's not a problem. The one thing though that I do see, and I'm going to go ahead and rack the slide again to show you. If you happen to get a hold of this and press down and pull the trigger, it's not going to fire. And it doesn't really take a whole lot of pressure. But that's just one thing to consider. It doesn't really bother me. I don't think anybody's going to realize that this is a Beretta APX. If I ever do draw this on someone, but if I try real hard, I can actually push with it just resting. But putting pressure on here, it's going to be a challenge. The weight on the APX with the magazine, 1 pound, 11.8 ounces. The barrel length is 4 1/4 inches. The overall length from rear to the end of the slide is 7.5 inches, and it's about 5.5 inches from top to bottom. 1.3 inches here on the side, the width. So it's a very compact, very slim design. Now, as far as the size comparison, we're going to take the benchmark, the Glock 19, and of course this gun is empty. Here, as far as the silhouette, it does come down just a little bit, but you're getting 17 rounds in the magazine. Here at the front, you see that it does come out about 1/2 inch. But one thing I do want you to notice is that the bore axis is almost the same. And that's one of the things about the APX is the bore axis is very low. And man, that really helps at the range. I'm a big fan of low bore axis. One of the reasons why is because the higher up the slide is on your hand, the more mass the slide's going to have coming back this way. And it's going to give you a little more muzzle flip. And that's just in my experience. Now, I can shoot high bore axis pistols just as well, but these are very flat shooting handguns, and I like that. Now, the standard 17 round magazines that come with the gun have a black follower. They do make factory mags with the red follower or orange follower. I got these at gunmagwarehouse.com, and they supplied these for me, so just to give me some extra mags. But you can get them with the black or with this follower. I want to thank Freedom Munitions for supplying the ammunition. You get a 5% discount using SUIT00 at checkout. And these little loaders are great, especially if you're loading a lot of magazines. Now, we took it out to the range. We fired about 500 rounds through it. One of the things you'll notice right up front is the grip. It's very ergonomic in the hand. It's so thin and it just fits well. The texturing it's that sweet spot. It's not too aggressive like some have had lately, but yet it's not slick at all. Honestly, I thought, because of the way the slide design was, I thought it would be a little top heavy. It seemed like it was a little bit larger. It belies its size, but really it's a very balanced handgun. The grip serrations are excellent. I mean, they're so easy to grab no matter where on the slide, so that makes it really easy to be able to take care of any kind of manipulation if you need, any kind of malfunction or anything that you have, or just to be able to rack the slide. I mean, it's just a good smooth finish. And one thing that I noticed was the gun shoots flat. That has a lot to do with the low bore axis. It just stays in that horizontal position, even when rapid firing. And the way the APX shot, it just made for a great day at the range. This is a very shooter-friendly firearm. Now we're going to disassemble the firearm. First thing we'll do is remove our magazine, check to make sure the gun is unloaded. First option is to just pull the trigger, and that deactivates the striker. But Beretta has added an option right here, and it's this small pin with a dimple in it. It's the one at the front, and you take a small punch and you just push it and it'll deactivate the striker. But we're going to go ahead and show it the traditional way, and we're going to pull the trigger. And then right here you're going to push, and you're going to need to do it with your thumb because it's going to take a little bit of pressure to get past that spring. But you push it down and then pull the lever down and the slide comes right off. A lot of guys are having some trouble, but once you realize how much pressure it takes to put on there, it's not a big deal, as you've seen. Next, we're going to just go ahead and remove our recoil spring and guide rod, and it is a double recoil spring, and it is a very heavy affair. I mean, it is something else, but this really helps mitigate recoil. And then we have our standard modified Browning linkless design, and then of course the slide. And that's all you need to do to field strip the pistol. But there are some things that I do want to show you. And first off is the long slide rails. Most of your polymer frame pistols now have just small little, about 1/2 inch rails on either side. And while these work fine, having these long slide rails help just to keep the slide together with the frame longer. It's a very smooth action. And I really like the way that this gun shoots. Of course, inside it's definitely different than your typical striker fire system. Of course, the slide, beautifully done, and of course that's just Beretta. Beretta quality is always exceptional. Reassemble in reverse order. Drop in your barrel, your recoil spring and guide rod, and then we're going to put it back on our frame. If you take it and push it all the way back, it'll disengage the takedown lever, just like that. If you do it softer, you just bring your lever up. It's no big deal. Throw in our magazine, check for function. So again, guys, if you want to see the full installation of the grip frame, the grip panels, and the reversal of the mag release, you can check out the following video and it'll go into a lot more detail. Otherwise, this video would have been 30 minutes long. Manufacturer suggested retail price on the APX is $575. I know that at GunProDeals right now, they're running just over the $400 range. And then of course, if you want more grip frames, $42.99 for the grip frame, and that gives you again a whole different look to it. As far as extra magazines go, I got these off of gunmagwarehouse.com. These are factory mags with the red followers, and they're $31.95 a piece, which to me is a great value considering these are metal and they're very high quality. Guys, we live in the golden age of firearms, and there are so many different choices out there. It's just awesome to be able to fine-tune what your personal preferences are to these firearms, as long as they're accurate and as long as they're good quality and they're durable. And that's one of the things, though, about this APX is, yes, some people have said, well, it's kind of late in the game. But, guys, I'll tell you, having those choices and the innovation and the competition, it keeps things going great, and plus it keeps the price in line. And I want to thank Nate at GunProDeals for sending the APX for this test and evaluation. And they do monthly giveaways, so it's a great resource if you want to check it out. Be strong, be of good courage. God bless America. Long live the Republic. Beretta has been known for their high-quality firearms for decades, centuries, millennia, and we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that. Why are we going to talk about it? So I don't remember if that's correct. Following right behind that is the. I mean, it's fantastic. Plus, the technology never ceases to exist.